Hello, everyone, and welcome back to GDQ Hotfix. This is Perilous, and we are in the middle of our show featuring some amazing occupational-based games. We've got an Overlord, a Knight, a Drifter, and, of course, a Tomb Raider. But we are moving on to the Drifter part of tonight's evening. So we are going to be doing Hyperlight Drifter, any percent new game, no major glitches, with Whisk, who I believe is the current world record holder, and Spring Sylvie. How are both of you doing today?
I'm doing quite well, thank you. Yeah, as Cutie just said, my name is Whisk. I am, in fact, the world record holder for this category. Any percent no major glitches. It's just a category that bans stuff like out of bounds and large sequence breaks and stuff like that. And Sylvie, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I also run this game. I run the Alt Drifter version of this category, which is just a different character, but it's basically the same thing. And I have the world record in that.
Yep, awesome. So we should be good to get started anytime you're ready.
Yeah, give us a quick 3, 2, 1, and we'll get into it.
Alrighty then. In that case, 3, 2, 1, and go.
Good luck, have fun. And somebody in chat says they're a huge fan of you, just so you know.
That's very nice. So right off the bat here, there's 2 tricks. Let's see if I can get them both. Not quite. So the first trick is the quick get up, and that involves skipping a bit of a cutscene there with the med pack, just a bit of an animation you're locked into right at the start. That segues into a second trick. Unfortunately, I didn't get it. You can skip that. You can skip that little cough animation if you're fast enough on the dash there. Not this time. It's a bit finicky. It's no big deal though. Yep, just making our way through the little tutorial section of the game here.
We also have Drew in chat, who's a big runner for this game.
Oh, hi, Drew.
Hey. Yeah, so here we're going to be picking up the pistol, the secondary weapon of the game. There's a little tutorial here where they make us shoot these pillars with it, and as you can see, it's a bit RNG, so we have to shoot a few times to make sure we hit them. But the main use of the pistol in this run is for combat. You can cancel the end lag of the pistol into the sword to effectively do double damage and be ammo neutral, which we refer to as pistol plaking. And this is going to be the main combat tech we see.
Yep, intro is pretty straightforward. We don't have anything fancy on the upgrade side yet, so it's just a lot of movement. You gotta watch out for these stairs though, especially on keyboard and mouse. They're kind of jank to get around. And then right here's another cutscene skip. You just dash around the trigger by going down there. Quite simple. And yeah, that's intro.
We have a cutscene here.
Yeah. Thank you.
Normally extremely loud and can have audio glitches associated with it if you quit out during it. So we allow an edited audio file that makes it silent for speedruns.
Yeah, I was about to say thank you to Sylvie for telling me about that a couple days ago. I had been suffering running this game previously with that audio glitch, but thankfully I got it cleared up.
Yeah, so just while we have a little bit of downtime here, the main movement mechanic of the run is just going to be our dash. We can dash up to 3 times before having to wait for a short cooldown. And it's much faster than walking, but we refer to it in the community as a slow dash, in contrast to an upgrade we get later that makes it even faster.
Oh, not this time. You can get that map a little faster if you dash during activation. That's a tech you see a bunch is doing interactions alongside dashes at the same time. Another one there is pausing after you hit that warp pad just to skip a little pulling up of the map that it usually does. Dog. And then coming up here is a pretty simple arena, although I'm not going to be fighting it. I'm going to hopefully be skipping it by simply dashing around. Although the enemy RNG can make it a bit finicky, so let's see. Good RNG this time. Oh! Alas, there's no accounting for human error, but it's alright. I got there in the end.
The game loves correcting your dash to stop you from dashing off platforms, but when there are certain precise dash sequence breaks, it loves to just not let you dash there if you're not standing in perfectly the right spot or have perfectly the right angle.
It's a bit finicky.
We're going to skip another cough here by just dashing around it there. And then while we just have movement for the next few rooms, I'll explain the main tech involving slow dashes, which is you can reset your dash counter back to 0 by dashing into a ledge and then getting pushed back by the ledge at the end through the game's like ledge autocorrect system. And this lets you do more than 3 dashes in a row before waiting for that cooldown, which is a fair bit faster when we don't have any upgrades.
Yep. And then during this movement section here, I'll just take the time to kind of explain how the overall route of the run is going to work. There's 4 different cardinal directions we can go in for areas, for each of the cardinal directions, and we're going to be getting 4 modules in each area and fighting a boss to get the pillar of each area, and that's going to allow us to beat the game. So yeah, that's what we're mainly looking out for here in No Major Glitches.
Yeah, we're also going to be collecting money in North, gear bits, or bits for short, of the currency in this game. So we're going to need 12 of those before the end of North to buy the dash upgrade.
Oh, nice! I got the healing on that module. There's a little finicky. It's actually, I think, frame perfect in this patch. And then I'm doing a bit of a tech there where I open the map during the module that unfreezes the game during that cutscene, which is a little bit faster because it just skips, I believe, like a 0.2 second cutscene.
Yeah, so coming up here we have one of the first more involved arenas where there's both 2 enemies that drop bits when killed. It's always the same enemies, it's scripted, as well as a hidden key off here to the left. So what Whisk did there is shooting that bird on the right to aggro them before dashing over to the left. And with a lucky, they're just going to jump off and die. But it looks like none of them did here.
Yeah.
So we do actually have to go back and kill them.
Bit annoying, but not a big deal.
Yeah, pretty clean.
Honestly, not that
RNG.
slow even regarding the RNG. Yeah, we're collecting these bits here in North for an upgrade that we're going to be using for like the rest of the run afterwards. So it's a bit slow to collect them, but it actually saves a ton of time overall.
Yeah, so coming up here we have another type of arena. This one's a bit different, where the enemies will spawn in waves. So there's not really any RNG. They always spawn in the same spot at the same amount of time after the previous enemies have been killed. So it's pretty much just down to memorization, and a lot of the arenas in the game are like this. But there's also going to be a little trick we do at the end of this arena where there's a small victory animation. It takes a second or 2. So we're actually going to manipulate this enemy to damage boost us out of that animation.
Yep. I did do a little bit of a teleport at the start of that arena. You can sometimes store your movement into cutscenes like that. Oh, it's a little bit finicky. And then
Yeah, it only works in that arena. We have no idea why.
yeah, I don't. It's just very strange. Yeah, coming around here. This is a detour for another module, which we need 4 of before the boss, and also some extra bits. This bit is a bit slower RTA, but this game is usually run with load move time, so that's why I did that one. You can see there another one of the mid-dash activations. I was like way away from that elevator, but it just teleports you to the elevator when the interaction is done, so it saves a bit of time. This room's pretty simple, just a lot of dashing around, people shooting you.
Yeah, we're gonna grab this module here. It doesn't open that hidden wall there until you beat the arena, but is also kind of a little secret, but is much faster than any other modules we could grab on the way to the boss.
Yep.
We're gonna get one more module here, which is basically just the game gives it to you for free. Definitely the easiest module in the game. And then we're gonna follow the linear path to the boss.
Probably the only module that is neither a secret nor challenging. It's just kind of here. Kind of odd.
Yeah, I guess we didn't... Well, I'll explain this first. So there's a small piece of tech here when dropping down these ledges like this. So since they're ledges, they like pushing you back when you dash into them. but that actually pushes you outside of the range to drop down. So to drop down those optimally, you want to dash into them, and then you have like a 2-frame window or so to actually press the drop input before it pushes you outside of the range. So it can be a bit finicky sometimes. We have one last arena before the boss, but there's not too much to say about it.
It's pretty simple, yeah.
I guess the one thing that's worth noting is that there's normally a save point at the start of this room, but they don't load in for the first few frames in a room. So we normally skip it by accident just by going fast, and so a death here can be kind of punishing.
I actually forgot there's a save point at the start of that room, to be perfectly honest. And we're doing a save and quit here, and that just skips a very long cutscene that happens at the start of every 4th module you get. And then I also use that quick get up animation cancel technique that I mentioned right at the start of the run, just to get up a little bit faster and heal myself for this upcoming boss.
Yeah, so this is probably the most dangerous boss of the run. So you don't have anything that lets us do more damage than just pistol blinking. And all of his attacks do 2 damage and are kind of a little bit random, but we can manipulate them to some extent. So basically what we're trying to do is just hit him as much as possible without being forced to dash out of the way. Also loves teleporting around, usually when he takes a bit of damage, so we're just trying to minimize those. Bit of an unlucky teleport there.
Bit of a slow kill,
okay,
but you know, it's always good to avoid a death in this game, so I will take that any day of the week. And we're gonna get a last 3 bits here for the upgrade.
Yeah, and then finally we're gonna grab the actual reward for this boss, other than the pillar, which is this gun here. It's not required for anything, but it does just speed up some arenas later in the run, especially in the next area.
And that's north. Thankfully, the other 4 cardinal directions are a bit faster than north due to the upgrades, which we will get in 1 second.
Yeah, so here we're going to be getting the only upgrade that we buy, the chain dash upgrade. What it lets us do is basically do multiple dashes without waiting for a cooldown in a row at the cost of stamina. As well as if you dash 3 or more times in a chain, then you can bonk on walls. Or if you dash 4 or more times, then you'll slide at the end of the chain. So we're rarely going to be doing that outside of when we can cancel that slide somehow with the cutscene or a loading zone or something.
Yep, many rules about the chain dash to consider.
It is definitely the most complex mechanic in the game, but that's what makes it so interesting as a speed game. We also have to be keeping an eye on our stamina, because it is very easy to run out when we're chain dashing constantly.
Yep. One of the things I try and keep in mind for stamina management is cutscenes like this, where you're hard stopped, but your stamina is regenerating. You want to try and run out of stamina going into places like this, as you can see. So I almost ran out there, and then I'm going onto this elevator just to get it back. That's just kind of the sort of bottlenecks you want to keep in mind.
Yeah, we see a full chain here, cancelled by a cough cutscene, so it's actually pretty fast to do that there, since we can't skip the cutscene anyway.
I was also praying that
And then the module give us...
loves to do that.
Yeah, and we mentioned earlier you can use the map to unfreeze the game during modules. Since the game is frozen, you normally don't regenerate stamina, but by opening the map there, you can actually get your stamina back during that cutscene, which saves a significant amount of time in some portions. We have a few moves of movement here before the main arena section of East. So I'll talk a bit about the mechanics of those, because in East there's 2 particular enemies that have an interesting interaction. There's Grumpshrooms, which are these little plants that explode when you kill them, and Melties, which are one of the stronger enemies that a lot of times will spawn later in arenas and can actually be woken up early and dealt damage to using those explosions. So coming up here, we're just going to be using the Grumshrooms to kill the bottom left enemy without having to dash all the way over to it. Come on with the laser. Assuming you get good RNG there. It was a little bit sketch, but you get the idea. And we're going to be seeing one more arena in the next room, which is a fair bit harder, but also utilizes the same mechanics, as well as one of those damage boost victory animation skips we saw in North. Although this one saves significantly more time, because doing so lets you stack 2 cutscenes on top of each other right afterwards. So let's see if we can hit that.
Thankfully, I can just interact during the block there, not losing time. Oh, barely missed it. Yeah, you want that bullet to hit you, and then during this like cutscene here, you can move to the door. Not a big deal there.
Yeah, the door takes a few seconds to go down, so we kind of entirely skip that wait if we hit the trick.
You know what I'll call that? I'll call that a free extra med pack. That's what I'll call that.
That is true.
Yeah, flame room here. As you can see, the flames operate on a bit of a cycle. And I'm going to be using this map during the module tech I showed earlier to advance the cycle during the pause frames, just so I can immediately go on a good cycle afterwards, which is quite nice.
Yeah, not a bad flame room. Can definitely be one of the scarier rooms in the run if you get off of cycle.
Yeah.
Coming up here, we have a small little optimization. Which is not really obvious if you don't point it out. We're gonna have this little cutscene where we stare at the dog for a bit, but you gain control when the dog goes off screen. So if you just move your mouse to the bottom of the screen, you gain control about a second earlier for free.
That's some free time to save for any new HLD runners out there. Now in this door, I'm going to go ahead and sit down, and that's not just for aesthetics. Sitting actually makes your stamina regenerate twice as fast, so anytime you have some downtime like that, it's a good idea.
Yeah, we're gonna have a few more arenas and some movement, but overall, like, pretty chill off to East Boss. And then we should be grabbing the pillar, one last module, and heading out of there. The laser is pretty useful in these last few arenas, though, as you can see, just being able to one-shot enemies from the other side of the screen stops us from having to dash around nearly as much. And that is where most of the time save from picking it up comes from.
You don't actually have to kill every enemy in this arena, so I just prioritize the ones that cause it to end early. And then we're coming into East Boss here, who is probably the easiest boss in the entire run. You'll see why. So we cancel that animation with a bit of just shooting him during it. And then we just get behind here and AI loop him. He's going to continuously do this slam attack, which will not hit us, and then we'll be back in range for the slam. So we'll keep repeating that over and over. And we can just absolutely murder him. It's very sad. Another quit out in this pillar. Same thing as the 4th module cutscene, you just skip an animation. And then we're gonna be getting the probably best gun in the game, the shotgun. The shotgun is quite useful, not just for combat, but also for movement, as you'll see in West, coming up here. Okay. Yep, and that's...
Yeah, so that's East. We're about halfway through the run. West is going to be a pretty movement-heavy area. There's actually no arenas that we can't skip in West. So it's going to be dashing around, grabbing a few modules, and then going straight to the boss. That does not mean it is chill and easy, though.
Well, it's chill. It's not easy, but it's chill. Any section where you just move a lot in this game, I'm a big fan of. I love the movement in this game so much.
Yeah, so one main feature of West to be aware of is these red trees, which we see a lot of. So unlike almost any other hitbox in the game, they're very visually deceptive and generally not rectangular. So there is a lot of places in the game, especially in this area, with unintuitive hitboxes that you could either dash in between two trees that look like they're touching or get stuck on a tree that doesn't look like it should be there. And it can be kind of annoying if you haven't played through these sections a lot.
Yeah, I heard a certain wise scholar once postulate that the trees were in fact the main mechanic of West. Although who that scholar was, I have no clue.
So we are going to slow dash a few times at the start of this room, which we generally don't want to do, but we just completely run out of stamina here with no way of saving it if we don't do that, because there's such a long movement section before the elevator.
Yeah, you can see even though I had messed up my movement slightly on the way there, I only had like 1 pixel of stamina left. We're gonna take a weird route through this room just because there's a cut scene trigger in the middle of this room that we want to avoid. And then there's an arena skip there. You literally just dash into the wall and are able to hit the loading zone and not fight those guys.
Yeah, so here we're going to be using the shotgun for that tech we mentioned earlier. Where we dash 4 or more times to slide intentionally, and then the shotgun recoil can actually store the speed during a slide. And we can interact with the warp pad there while doing it, which also refills the ammo. So we don't really do that in places where we're not interacting with the warp pad to get our ammo back, but where we can, it's very fast and very flashy.
Yep. Another pretty simple segment here, although I did route in the laser to be equipped right now for breaking many of these crystals in West, because it's very fast. Much less RNG than doing it with a shotgun.
Yeah, they usually take 3 or 4 hits to destroy, but the laser just happens to one-shot them.
Yep.
So it's quite convenient.
Coming up here is a bit of dog RNG. Let's hope they're nice to me this time. And they are. They're all gone. Yeah, though they just kind of randomly spread out there and can be a bit annoying.
Yeah, sometimes they don't die to the crystals, and they can either hit you on the way back, or even worse, die to the crystals on your second time entering the room, lag the game, and cause you to drop a chain dash and slide.
I don't think I've ever had that happen before. Now what I should explain is how the shotgun is actually used for combat. We're going to see that on the West boss here in a second. And we're going to be using a plinking technique, just like with the pistol, and it's very similar. However, the shotgun does a lot more damage. It also has a reload time, which is normally not ideal. So what we do to cancel that is we just weapon swap back and forth very quickly between our shots. And that's going to cancel our reload time and allow us to do a lot of damage really, really fast.
Yeah, so here we have a particular lineup for this chain dash across the bridge. It's not scary at all, you just hold left.
That's a little scary, because those crystals can combo you if you bonk, and it's not ideal.
Yeah, and then here we have a little cutscene skip. Normally, if we dash normally, we'd spend a few seconds longingly staring into the pink drifter's eyes, but there's just a hole in the wall there, and we can entirely avoid the romance route, which is good for speedrunners.
It is good for speedrunners. Don't be like me and accidentally hit interact during your dash because you're bored and then talk to him. I did that a couple times during practice. It's not ideal.
Yeah, so here's the West boss. We're going to do a particular strat here to dash to the top left, manipulate him to spawn these summons a few times, and use them to refill our ammo, and then kill him before he gets to attack. That was very clean.
That was very cool. I missed a couple plinks, but I still killed him before the third summon, which is pretty good. Yeah, this has been a very clean list so far, honestly.
The shotgun isn't ammo neutral, so generally we need to do something like that, where we're getting ammo off of an extra enemy to keep up good DPS with it. And we're going to be seeing a lot of quick kills on the remaining bosses using it.
Yep. Time for more dog RNG. Two dogs in this time. Yeah, they just get clumped up on the bushes there. It's a little annoying to get them all. But yeah, that's west. Coming into south here, this is probably the other hardest section of the run other than north. It has a lot of difficult movement and a lot of difficult combat. Oops. I hope you enjoyed the shotgun slide in west, because there's going to be 3 of them back to back. Oh, unless I get some expeditious lag on this room here. Bit unfortunate, but yeah, south can be a bit laggy at the start. Thankfully, there's 2 more. Oh, I hit the neutral zone with the NPC. It's okay. 3rd try is the charm on the shotgun slide.
Yeah, you can't actually attack or fire any weapons when you're in a sudden range of NPCs in this game.
I was a bit too
So
close
it's kind of an awkward spacing. Coming up here, we're going to have maybe the hardest arena in the game. Definitely the scariest. Because it has a global crusher cycle, and those do one-shot you from any HP value. As well as an arena that we have to clear to hit that cycle. Which actually has an extra wave at the end that doesn't spawn if you kill the arena fast enough. So, very heavily bottlenecked by those things.
Oh, barely got the
Hit the arena cycle.
Just...
Could have beat that.
I know, I definitely could have.
Yeah.
I didn't
okay.
think I hit the save at the start. There's no reason to risk it, really.
Yeah, that it can be one of the most punishing deaths in the game because of missing the save there.
Coming up on the Mimic here, you might be like, Whisk, why are you going into a boss at 2 HP? And the reason is because we're just going to rush him down with a shotgun before you can do a single attack. Just like that. Actually, he almost did an attack, which would have been a bit disastrous. If you let him go into his attack phase there, he starts running away and becomes really annoying to hit, especially without any upgrades. So yeah, it's a good thing to get that quick kill there.
Yeah, and it's lucky that he spawns the ads directly on top of him at the start there. Otherwise, we wouldn't have enough ammo to actually kill him.
That's another
easily.
example of using ads to get ammo back. Oops. Usually you want to get a full chain there. Sadly, South is not cooperating with the lag situation today. Or maybe that's a good thing, so that way I can blame all of my mistakes on that.
So coming up in this next room, there is a kind of notorious run killer enemy, especially if you're at low HP, who fires rockets at you, which do 2 damage. It can also knock you off, which does an extra damage. Luckily, he was pretty cooperative, even though we messed up a little bit and just didn't attack.
He was cooperative. I was just, I was uncooperative myself, let's say. I do want a bit of extra ammo here. I wonder if there's an enemy I can hit on the way there. Should be fine.
You should try to hit the duck next to the terminal in the next room.
Yeah.
Core ammo is plenty. Yeah, there's a little bit of a shortcut here in this room. For some reason patched out on later patches. But We played on an older patch that still has this platform here that just lets us skip going around the right side of the room.
Oh, I shot. Oh, oops. Well, that's fine. There. Bit of an unfortunate arena. I had a bad angle there, but normally the idea is that you shotgun, and that pushes the enemy into the explosive barrel and also detonates the explosive barrel at the same time. Normally you can kill that robot enemy too, but I messed it up. Oh well.
Yeah, still good health ammo for the boss. We'll be fine.
Yep.
There's a small skip coming up in the next room before the boss, where we can like wiggle into a ledge to get a few pixels further off and then make this dash to this kind of hidden platform.
Oops.
Okay, there we go.
I thought that guy was gonna cross the gap. It's fine then.
You can. And then this is the most RNG boss in the run. She just runs in random directions. We're trying our best to track her and keep hitting her, but sometimes she can be pretty annoying. We can just whiff shotguns like that. Although we still got a pretty fast kill.
That was a pretty clean kill. Yeah. Hopefully I can get this cough cutscene skip here. Unfortunately not. That one's another one where you have to dash into it fast enough to actually skip it. And if you don't get that, it can be a bit annoying. And we're getting the south pillar here, although there is one more module we have to get in south. It's not very difficult, but it is actually a pretty famous run killer at times.
Yeah, this is a module that you're intended to need chain dash to do. Is technically possible with that, but as you can see, we just dash across all these falling platforms to the module. And it's pretty much right there.
Yep, and that's south out of the way. That is the last scary section of the run. Thankfully, the final boss is not too bad at all.
It should be a pretty chill next minute or so until we get to the boss, apart from 2 more cough skips in this segment. Both of them are the same idea as the previous one, where we just want to walk to a particular pixel and then start chain dashing with the right spacing, and we'll just go right over the trigger.
Yep, just some more cough skips. Shoutouts if any of my Melty Blood people are still watching. Y'all are real ones. Let's see if I can get this cough skip.
Yeah, and shoutouts to Whisk for doing this run. This game is awesome.
To Whisk? No way. My friend got scared of this section because Judgment kept jump scaring him, and then he refused to play any further. Alright, the final boss here is actually relatively simple. It's just another boss we're going to sort of burst down with a shotgun before he's able to do any attacks. Hopefully, anyway.
Yeah, and then there's 2 phase transitions in the middle of the boss where he becomes invulnerable for 5 or so seconds and spawns ads. So again, we're just going to be refilling our ammo on those and then trying to get out of the way of them in time for the next phase to shotgun him again. Should be pretty simple if it goes well.
Now, time is going to be coming up as soon as I walk down through this room, and then in the next room I'm going to hit a wall, and that's going to be time. I'll let you know when.
Yeah, it's about 45, 50 seconds or so.
Yeah, just a nice somber walk down here. If you try and press any buttons, you'll just cough. But yeah, that was a quite decent run. I'm very happy to get to showcase this game. It's my favorite of all time, personally, and it's a run I hold very near and dear to my heart. And I really appreciate.
Yeah, same here.
I really appreciate Sylvie for commentating with me, GDQ for making this possible, and for anyone who showed up to support me after I asked them to watch this run. I really appreciate you. Time is coming up in just 1 second here. 3, 2, 1, and time. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks to Whisk for running. Thanks to GDQ for having us. Like Whisk said, great run.
Well, it's our absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for showcasing that. I always love seeing runs like this. As we're watching the cutscene and the giant dog and everything going on here, if you have anywhere that people can find you, learn more about you, if you have shout outs, if you have a Discord, anything and everything you want to talk about, now's a great time.
If you would like to find me, I am on both Discord and Twitch, Whisk487. I think I will be getting back into streaming more after this run. It's invigorated my streaming spirit a bit, so maybe you'll catch me there. Sylvie, do you have anything you want to advertise?
I just want to shout out the Hyperlight Drifter Discord. I'm not a super active runner at the moment, but this game is awesome. It's super accessible. Lots of good categories. I would heavily recommend if anyone likes this game and found the run interesting, just join the Discord and get involved.
Awesome.
Yeah,
That's all for me.
I'm glad to hear that we have reinvigorated your sense of streaming and speedrunning. That's always great to hear. We're going to take a quick break before we set up for our last run, which is going to be Shadow of the Tomb Raider. That is going to be heavily glitched, so I'm super excited for that. While we are on break, if you're interested in catching up on any past shows, events, marathons, etc., you can always check out our YouTube at youtube.com/gamesdonequick. We just had an Oops All Zelda marathon, I think, over the weekend, so some incredible stuff there. And if you're in the future, if this is like a week or two from now and you're watching the YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications, etc. We appreciate you, and that'll help you stay up to date on everything GDQ. But don't go anywhere. We'll be right back in just a few minutes with Shadow of the Tomb Raider.